So in this video, I'm going to show you how to clean some really dirty white leather seats. And this is applicable whether you have beige, gray, black seats, leather seats. With one towel, or with a towel, you need more towels as you go along. One product, this is super clean, diluted 10 to 1, you can pick it up locally. And then one leather brush. Don't get too caught up on the brush that I'm using, whatever brush you have in stock that you can buy locally. You can check all the links down below to see where I bought these and what brand they are. But don't get too stuck on this exact brush or this exact cleaner, because you can use really whatever you want. Okay, so the first part of everything is gonna be you need to vacuum it. Once you get that part done, pretty straightforward, or just wipe it down with a towel if you don't have a brush, a vacuum cleaner. So starting off on vertical surfaces like this, I don't really like to spray onto the surface, because once it starts to leak, it can build up some stains on the or some marks on the leather itself by the drip of the cleaner. So if I do spray it on, it'll be one very, very light mist. But typically I'm gonna spray into the brush head, into the brush itself. And I'm gonna be pretty liberal with it, so because this is where we're gonna keep all the cleaner. And then maybe I'll just spray like one sit like that. Like, I'm not gonna make it drip at all. I don't want it to have any drips coming down. So just something like that, just to get something on the surface. And then you're literally gonna agitate in circular or straight up and down surfaces. Now, it's not gonna take long for leather for this to work. Leather is 100 times easier than cloth seats. So I'm gonna clean one section here. Doesn't take too long at all. You're not putting too much pressure. You don't need to try to win a competition or anything. Wipe it to the side. Look at this dirty towel. And that was literally what? 10 seconds of work, and it's already has a dramatic difference on the before and after. Now ideally you'd want some more room. There's a lot of stuff back here. I'm not going to move it just because this is more of a demonstration video, not a customer's vehicle, so I'm not going to do everything. So it would help if you would just lean it back, but that's not the case here. Again, I'm going to just one simple spritz. I don't want any drips. Like, there's one little drip right here. If you see any drips, I always just kind of dab it away so it doesn't actually drip down the leather seat. And same thing, you're going to go into half the seat. And you can literally just see all the nastiness coming off. Now, sometimes you might want to work in smaller sections. This one, it's actually really easy to clean. There will be some material where it's just a lot more, not aggressive, but the texture is just different, and it's better to work in sections as opposed to like an entire half of a seat that I'm doing here. So it's gonna be dependent on the material that you're working. And like the condition that it's in, not only the dirtiness of it, but the actual condition of the surface, of the texture. If it's already kind of deteriorating, you want to be a bit softer, a bit more gentle, as opposed to this. Like, it's really dirty, but I can go pretty aggressive because it's not, nothing is tearing, nothing is, the material isn't well, tearing or deteriorating. Like, it's not getting all like those little whatever it's called aren't coming out. And you want to make sure you get around the stitching as well. That's always an easy place to miss things. Again, can I? No, I can't. No, I can't. If you could, leaning it back, you can get down here a lot easier. So let me get the towel. And then you wipe away. You want to make sure that you feed your towel, or put your towel through the seam right here to really dig in there. And there we go. Now, off of pure inspection right now, it looks 10 times, 100 times better. But obviously, well, not obviously, I don't know if you can tell here, but there will be some spots you'll have to go over. That's okay. We're not trying to be perfect on the first go. Inspect where it needs a little bit of a touch up, and then just do that touch up there. So for here, it might need a little bit right here, or it might be that it's just wear and tear. With scratch like this, there's nothing you can do here. I mean, you can't put a leather coating on it or anything. It's far gone. You can get it reupholstered or whatever, I guess, but this is far beyond what like cleaning capabilities are here. So you just want to inspect and see what needs a little touch up. So spray into your brush just a little bit. You don't need as much anymore. And just lightly see if this is actually this dirt, this dirtiness, or just wear and tear. And as you clean more cars, you'll see what is more wear and tear. Like a lot of times, like this side gets used a lot more just because that's the more dominant side you lean on, because your door panel and such. So you'll get used to it as time goes by. But don't confuse. A key part is don't confuse dirtiness with just like bad condition of the leather seat. Like let's say this. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but here one could say this almost looks a little dirty, but it's not dirtiness. It's just wear and tear on that specific part. So you don't want to go overly aggressive here, because one, you're not going to clean much more than what it is, and two, you can go through the hide and then it's going to look like you're going to have a huge discoloration on this section here. So very important to keep in mind. Now the bottom portion, from my experience, is always going to be the dirtiest, just because that's your butt, and your butt touches a lot more things than your back does. So now, because we're on the bottom here, I will spray a little more than usual than what I would on the vertical side, just because it's not going to drip as quick. So I'm not going to overly saturate it at all, but I will put just a little bit more than usual than what I do on the vertical surfaces, and then begin to agitate. And here on this seat, there is a lot of it's already ripping in a lot of places. So like on these areas here, you don't want to just like dig down on it. You still want to go over it, but be very gentle. There'll be cars where you work on where you really shouldn't even touch it, because like it'll tear more, or it'll like it's already flaking and you don't want to, you know, ruin it more. So there will be times where like you want to work around it and not even touch it. But here I can go over it and still clean it. Now if you are just using one brush, make sure you're pulling back these seams and getting inside the stitching, because a lot of stuff can get caught in there. And here, hopefully you can tell, but make sure you're cleaning this entire bottom section as well, because it gets a lot of traffic on here, and you can easily see all the dirt accumulated around the seat. And then take your handy dandy towel here and wipe that up. Now if you don't have an extra brush or anything to get into these seams, again, just get your towel, open up the seam a little bit, and make sure you go over the seam right here, the stitching, so you're really getting as much as you can out. And there we are. And there we are. Hopefully you can tell the difference right here, can't you? And that's as simple as it gets. We don't need to get overly complicated. Leather seats are very, very easy to clean. And if you have leather material around your vehicle, whether it's on your door panels, your armrests, somewhere around the dashboard, you're gonna use the same cleaning process that we did here on that. If you have smaller brushes to use on smaller areas of the vehicle, that's gonna work too, but it's very straightforward. Again, I'm using Super Clean diluted 10:1. You can purchase it locally in gallon size and then dilute it into a 32-ounce spray bottle, which will make you like 10, 12, 14, 16 bottles of a 32-ounce 10:1 spray bottle. By the way, follow me on the Instagram, links down below, as well as I'm being very, very, very active over there. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave those down below. I'll go ahead and finish the other side of the seat on another video, and I'll see you on the next one.